sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this Thursday evening here in Columbus, Ohio with some of the crew. We ready to get into this talk about these Big Ten football conference teams and what we think about them and are they really as good as advertised? Are they going to win the national championship again this year? We're going to find out and see what everybody else has to say. We got our man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10 with us here this evening. How you feeling, Mossberg?
Pretty good, pretty good. I got just a new thing to say. Appreciate you having me, and it's good to see all the guys. I'm going to just say Nose Nation is stacking up, and I'm going to leave it at that.
We also got our man, Mr. Claiborne, somebody else, City League TV.
What it do, what it do, fellas? Good to see everybody in the building, man. Y'all know me. I'm ready to rock and roll. You know, this is my conference. I can talk a little bit.
You probably can talk a lot. We also got our man, FanDuel Zaya. I was kind of worried about him because I thought maybe he was going to be ducking Haran 78, but he's here on the show with us tonight, ready to talk some Big Ten conference. How you feeling, FanDuel Zaya? Maybe he ain't there yet. Well, while we waiting on FanDuel Zaya, we're going to go to our man Post Game. How you feeling this evening, Post Game?
Man, I feel marvelous, man. We talking Big Ten football, and who else better to bring y'all that good talk than the homies from the Midwest?
Facts. Those of you who are tuning in, if you did not get a chance to watch our Tuesday live stream interview with our man Post Game when he talked about his Notre Dame Fighting Irish, I'm telling you right now, you will be in for a treat. Go check out that video. It was all that and a bag of chips for sure.
It was a great one for sure.
Well, hopefully FanDuel can get his connection together because I really need him to be in here when we start talking about this Big Ten conference. Hopefully he'll be in here shortly. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors who are sponsoring this college football Big Ten conference video. Our man, Super Cat Nano 2820, his music on YouTube. Go check him out. He makes all of our music for our intros and our exits. Check him out on YouTube at Super Cat Nano. That's cat spelled with a K. Nano spelled Nayno. Check him out, 2820. I'm telling you, you will like what he does with his music and his beats. Go over there and check him out. Also, our man Kevin Bird and his wife, they got a catering business, KT's Good Eats LLC. You can find him on Instagram. Go check out those pictures of all the items that they make and can provide for you. If you decide to use their services, check him out on Instagram at Kevin J. Bird. That's Bird spelled BYRD on Instagram. Go check him out. Also, his sister owns Social Nutrition Sips and Good Conversation at 3136 South Hamilton Road, where you can get you a nutritious shake or an energy tea and some of the other products that she has at her shop. Trust me, you cannot go wrong with any of the products that she has in her shop. Trust me, you're going to like her. Also, we got our young man, the Chief, has his own apparel line. That's The Chief, DECHIEF .5991. He has his own apparel line where you can get you some authentic gear from him. Trust me, go check him out on Instagram and on TikTok at The Chief, DECHIEF .5991. And we're going to let our man, T1, Mr. Claiborne, tell us about his apparel line.
Y'all know what it is. Just nice and easy. It's black on black. So I don't know how well y'all can see that right there. It's the black on black XK. Y'all know how we do exclusive kicks on Facebook and Instagram. And those who know me, y'all know how to get in contact with me. Let's go.
For sure. Let's go. All right, y'all. Well, let's get into some of this action, man. I'm not sure where our man FanDuel is at. Maybe he need me to add him to the stage. FanDuel, you there?
Yeah, his mic muted. He's in there. His mic is muted. I know it. I think he said he had to work. So he might be there listening in, but his mic is muted as I see right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm going to take him off the screen there. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and get into some of these questions, man, that we know the people want to hear our answers to. Right off the bat, who are your top 4 teams in the Big Ten going into next season? Who's your honorable mention team that could possibly be in the top 4 at the end of the season?
For me, I had, of course, the defending champs. You know, I got to respectively put them ahead at number 1. Then I got Oregon. And then followed by Oregon, I have Penn State. And his 4th team, it was like top 4. It was, I mean, it's kind of, you know, that 4 through. You don't really know because a lot of teams got to prove themselves once again. But I got Michigan. Michigan have not, you know, they close out the season on a great note. And they have a heck of a class coming in. And we all want to see what that class is going to do with the players that they have coming in from last season, returning as well. And then my honorable mention team, I actually have it's between Iowa and Illinois. I couldn't really separate both of them because I'm looking forward to seeing what both of them bring to the table. So I have Iowa and Illinois as that dark horse honorable mention.
All right, yeah, I'll go. You know, Mr. Claiborne, this your conference, so you can take it last, my man.
No doubt.
Top 4. Y'all, for some reason, I think the Big Ten isn't going to play out how we think it's going to play out. That's just me. It's just a feeling I have. I could be wrong. But as of right now, I'm going to give the nod to Ohio State. Mr. Claiborne, your Buckeyes lost a lot, but they are loaded like a burrito in Las Vegas. I'm going to go Penn State. I'm going to go Oregon. And I'm going to go Illinois. And my dark horse or sleeper, man, I have a hard time between Michigan and USC.
Man. I think you're going to automatically have the defending national champs. I mean, how could you not? Like he said, they loaded like a Mexican burrito. Did he say Mexican burrito?
A Mexican burrito in Las Vegas, baby.
In Las Vegas.
I like that post game. I like that right there.
They just reload. And guess what? They never lose a clip. They got clip on top of clip on top of clip. I got the Buckeyes up there. I think Oregon will be up there as well. Penn State. That 4th team was kind of tough. I'm thinking it's going to be either Illinois or USC. But I think Michigan will be in the top 5. They will be my honorable mention, the Michigan Wolverines.
All right. I'm going to have to, of course, go with Ohio State. My Buckeyes, number 1. And in no order outside of number 1. So Ohio State, number 1, and Penn State, Oregon, and USC. Those are my 4. And my sleeper, my dark horse, I think Illinois has a favorable schedule this year. So I'm torn between Illinois and Indiana. And I'm almost with post game a little bit. I really don't think that it's going to shake up the way everybody thinks that it's going to. I think it's going to be some team. We may have a team or 2 that's going to surprise us coming out the Big Ten. So that nobody probably even mentioned right here. So it's going to be interesting to see how it play out. I wish we did have Zay in here to let us see what his top 4 too. I'll be very interested in hearing that.
Yeah, Parlay Poe as well. What's going on?
Yeah.
Just I noticed y'all mentioned USC. I was heavy on USC last year with Malachi Moss. I know they had a heck of a recruit come in. They're number 1 right now going into next year as far as the 26. I'm wondering what that coaching staff is going to do for me for USC. I'm definitely a fan of USC, but just coming right away is just for me when I had them so high in hopes last year they let me down. So I'm not going to say I'm a ride day wave, but it's definitely a team, I'm looking at to see how they play this first month of the college football season. It'll be interesting for me to see how they fare out, offensively and defensively.
Yeah. Did I leave Penn State out of there? Did I say Penn State?
Yeah, you said Penn State. You got the automatic 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the automatic 3.
Hello.
What's going
What's
on?
happening, Son Jose?
Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm catching these sales right now, man. But I had to tap in. You feel what I'm saying?
No apologies needed, bro. You right on time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was the question? Top 4?
Top 4, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Man,
ain't possible.
In the possible. So I'm going Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon, and I don't even want to do it, but I'm gonna say Indiana. Yeah, my possible is gonna be Michigan.
Ooh, no Penn State. No Penn State.
No Penn State, man.
No.
Oh, I forgot about Penn State. Yeah, I got to slide Michigan out. You right. Penn State is definitely going. Yeah, they definitely. They going. I forgot about Penn State because I don't believe in Drew Allard. They gonna go 10-2.
Top 4 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they gonna be. That's what I said. I forgot about Penn State for a second. They gonna be 10-2 though. We gonna pop them though. We're gonna beat them like they stole something. Anytime, yeah, we about to give Jim Nose what he's been looking for.
It'll be personal.
Yeah, it's gonna be very personal. That game is gonna be very personal.
Yes, it is.
So you feel like Indiana's gonna be better than Michigan?
Yes, I do. I like that quarterback from Cal that they got. I think he's gonna be one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we're gonna go right to this question about these quarterbacks. What's your thoughts on the quarterbacks in the Big Ten? Are they as good as or better than the quarterbacks in the other Power 4 conferences? What's your thoughts?
When you mentioned Drew Allard, you're talking about, I think he's one of the top seniors in this Big Ten class of quarterbacks. If you're looking at him being the head of the Big Ten, they're not definitely one of the conferences with quarterbacks that can compare to other conferences. But it's a lot that's coming in. You got a great Underwood. We see how he's coming in 5-star, as well as the quarterbacks for Ohio State, respectively. And like Zay just said, the transfer from Cal. So there are a lot of quarterbacks in the Big Ten, I feel. Some coming in for their first year. Some do have to prove themselves. So I think this is a conference, I would say, come October, come Halloween, I think we could really look at this conference overall at the QBs and move forward and note them at that point rather than give it a whole format for, just my point of view on how they really fared throughout the season against other conference quarterbacks. They definitely have a heck of a class coming in. Oregon have a special QB as well.
Hey man, listen, the Big Ten, we probably don't got the best quarterbacks, not even top 2. I get that title to SEC Big 12. It's kind of a coin flip between the ACC and the Big Ten, but people gotta understand something. The Big Ten is not built off of explosive quarterback play. It's a lot of good defenses. It's a lot of running the ball. So that stuff. I mean, as long as a lot of these upper echelon teams got quarterbacks that's not turning the ball over, they're not gonna have the numbers and stuff that other guys around the country is gonna have because it's like a help me help type system in the Big Ten where your offense got to help your defense. It got to be a whole well-rounded thing. A lot of the time, you see the Big 12 teams, they slinging the ball across the field against everybody. All them dudes gonna have numbers. So I ain't gonna say we're gonna have some of the topper quarterbacks in the country this year, but I think we're gonna have a lot of the better teams just because of them facts I just spoke.
Yeah, I mean, great points, and there really isn't much needed to be said after that. I think the Big Ten is known for that physicality. They want to run the ball, play great defense, but they do have some quarterbacks who can spin it. That's for sure. I like the Big 12 quarterbacks. Just from what Zay said, they like to throw the ball around the field. So the SEC got some quarterbacks who can really take off this season as well. Some quarterbacks who would need to put their team on their back. So yeah, I probably had the Big Ten probably third or fourth if we talking about overall quarterback performance. But that doesn't mean much because the Big Ten is still gonna win, and they won the last two national championships, and they looking for a three-peat. So.
Yeah, I think.
No, go ahead, my bad.
Oh no, you go ahead, Mossberg. Go ahead.
I was just gonna note Drew Aller had career season, throwing over 3,000. I know we talk about his deep ball. We never know. Maybe in for something special this year. He might have worked out on it. So that's just something to keep note of as well.
Yeah, I think the quarterbacks in the Big Ten, some of these guys are just guys who are just now getting their opportunity to play, and I think that they're going to play well. I think there's going to be some that are just getting their first opportunity to play, and I think they're going to play better than Drew Aller. I am not a Drew Aller fan, man. I watched him as a sophomore. They played Ohio State, and he had chances to make plays against Ohio State 2 years ago and did nothing. He had chances to make plays last year against Ohio State and did nothing. I'm not sold on him. I don't think that he might be a prototypical size quarterback, but what's going on in between his ears concerns me, because why hasn't they put him in position to throw the ball down the field? You are not going to be able to beat the likes of a Michigan or Ohio State or Oregon if you don't take some chances down. They don't even take chances down the field.
No.
I'm not high on him at all. I hope he's wrong because I want him to be successful. I ain't no hater. He has to go out there and make something happen for me. I think the Big 12 has a really good crop of quarterbacks, and I think the SEC has quite a few guys who are seasoned, and then you got a bunch of guys who have what we consider to be some high upsides. We're going to have to wait and see at the end of the season to see how this whole thing plays out with all of these quarterbacks in these 4 different conferences.
Yeah, I think somebody gonna lose their job in the NFL about Drew Aller.
Yeah, that's gonna play out, and we're gonna see. And I'm gonna go with what Rob said too, like with the Big Ten. And I'll put mine in no order, and I'm just gonna really basically go off the school, because in the Big Ten you don't have a whole lot of proven returning quarterbacks going back to their teams, and you have a whole lot of quarterbacks who need to step on onto the scene and show that they're ready for that big time football. This is going to be a really, really, really big year for a lot of these Big Ten teams breaking in these new quarterbacks, whether they be transferred in or just stepped up the ladder. But we really don't have a lot of veteran quarterbacks in the Big Ten this year. So one thing I do know, I know the quarterback of Ohio State is going to play good, whoever he may be. I know the quarterback at Oregon is going to play to a high level, whoever he may be. The Penn State quarterback, I'm kind of with Zay on this a little bit, because from what we saw last year, and then for them to put him on such high pedestal coming into this year as if we missed something last year, and maybe we did. Maybe we did. He has all the tools to be a great quarterback. You know, they kind of blamed it on the wide receivers last year, so we'll see. But I also know that USC quarterback is most likely going to play at a high level this year, and I'm looking for the quarterback that come out of UCLA, and for that coaching staff to get that university back on the scene and playing some football. So I'm looking for that quarterback, whoever that may be, out of UCLA to step in and play at a high level. And we may be talking about putting UCLA in our top 4. Season. Yeah.
They got Iamaleava.
Yeah. Right, from Tennessee. Yeah. And I expect him, like I said, I expect him to play at a high level. I expect for that program to try. I expect for UCLA to, like I said, try to get back onto that national scene. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. And I could see it.
Just a quick question for you, being a Big Ten.
Michigan too. I expect for. I mean, what's that?
For you being a Big Ten guy, the connection got a little screwed. What's your thoughts on UCLA? Speaking of that, do you think with all the adversity and all of the racket that's went on in the offseason with Nico and things like that, do you think that could come in to where he just, put a cape on and just be a different person as far as shut all the noise out, lock in and play, and possibly bring that team to something different?
I believe that coaching staff is well put together, and he is going to put all of that behind them, and they are too, and they're not going to think none about it. And I look forward to him playing at a high level in the Big Ten.
Cool.
Forget coach's name out there, but I like him, and I think turn it around.
You talking about Deshaun Foster?
Yeah, Deshaun Foster. Yeah,
former NFL.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think they got enough skill and talent out there yet. You got to put together like 2 and 3 classes in high school, and then you got to shuffle in the right portal guys. Like I just don't see it yet.
And they shuffled in a couple portal guys, and as we saw last year, I mean they wasn't too far out the games. A piece here, a piece there changes everything, and a favorable schedule, and we know things can change for some universities.
Yeah, you're right on that. I just like the other 2 West Coast teams better this year, though.
I don't know if they got the trenches for the Big Ten, bro. Not yet. That's
what the main thing be for real. I don't know if y'all seen how much USC's offensive line had bulked up last year before the season. And that's what the main thing was with them West Coast teams and them always running them West Coast and shoot and run offenses out there. But even USC, I mean, if you look at it, yeah, they went 6-6, but they play very competitive, and I feel like it was only because they was able to bulk up their trenches more than everybody else.
Okay.
How good or bad do you see Underwood playing for Michigan? Does he have enough around him to pass for 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns?
I can go first with this one. I think he can get 2,000, but that may to just throw a true freshman out there and expect him to do what they are saying that they want him to do right now. I really, really feel like that's unrealistic, and I really, really don't like that amount of pressure being put on any quarterback, let alone a true freshman to come into a program who's only 2 years removed from a national championship to say, hey, you go and lead this team back to the promised land and at least lead us to the playoffs. I think that's hard. But can he throw for 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns? Absolutely. With 12 picks and, you know, a couple rushing yards too. Maybe 600, 700, 800 rushing yards. I mean, I'm just saying, it's a true freshman, man, and to like have that much hope in a true freshman, that kid has to be special, and you have to be really, really special to hop in here and elevate some young men that's way older than you and take them to the next level. I think it's going to be hard for them. I don't think it's going to be as easy as they think that transition is going to be for that young man.
I agree with you with a lot of that transition, that being a freshman, it's college football. You at the University of Michigan. It's going to be enough pressure alone with that. You know what I mean? And, you know, one thing for me, I like seeing the number 10 on it. That was the number I wore. So I'm locked in to see a human joystick. You giving him $10 million to come in and change the program. That's how I'm looking at this capture, this recruit, this bring in for Michigan. So 2K, I'm going to give him 2K. I'm going to give him 2K, and I'm going to give him 15 touchdowns. So, Bryce, you got to go out here and show me what you worth, man, because I'm all eyes. I'm tuned in, and I'm locked in on this Michigan team, Parlay Poe, and I think he could feel me on this because I think in our time it's been a while since we've seen a player hyped with this much, you know, when it comes to the bag coming into a university and changing the program, and especially in the nail era. So I'm gonna give him the credit. I'm gonna say he's gonna get the 2K and 15 touchdowns. So he got to make me a believer and put my remarks in top.
And not to mention that university was not his first choice. He only went there because they gave him some money. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this young man plays for the love of the game, because we already know you're playing there for the love of the money.
Yeah, you got Bryce Underwood coming in. That's the #1 recruit in the country. Super talented. Like I said in the past stream, they're comparing this kid to Vince Young. That is a lot of pressure to put on a freshman. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get to those numbers. It all depends on how he develops. Michigan has a new offensive coordinator in Chip Lindsey, who promises to have more 3 wide receiver sets. I don't think that's the way to go if you're going to start the freshman. I think they want to keep that identity of pounding the ball and breaking your bones at the University of Michigan and playing great defense. So, I mean, 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. I think he can get it. But I would think that they would rely on his legs more until he's able to develop and get that chemistry with his receivers and master the playbook. So I'm going to say, yeah, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have 10 interceptions, 12 interceptions. So to me, guys, Michigan is about the biggest question mark this year heading into the season in the Big Ten.
Man, this boy ain't getting 2K. I don't know what we smoking on. Hey, listen, we done seen Michigan run the ball 30 times in a row in one game. This boy is not getting nowhere near 2K. He might not even start the first 3 games. Like, what we talking about? Now, could he get like
a lot of pressure on that young man?
I can see that is pressure. I can see him having 1,500, 600 on the ground. You know what I mean? But man, they gonna run the ball. They ain't gonna switch it up. I mean, they might change the look of it, but I don't see him switching too much, man. Until he is the featured guy. He's not the featured guy of the offense yet. It's their running backs. So I ain't gonna put that on him.
And they would definitely need a running game in order for him to have any type of success. Their running game is going to have to be probably great in order for him to have any success.
I expect Justin Haynes to have a monster year, though, actually. You know, he was the #1 running back coming out of high school in 2024. He got some time last year at Alabama. I expect him to be on full go.
Yeah, they definitely have some running backs back there that are capable as far as from what we think. And we know how, you got to play the game.
Look, I agree. I think Michigan should focus on their identity and run the ball. But the thing is, they got a new offensive coordinator in Chip Lindsey, and he likes to get the ball downfield. I don't know how successful Underwood is going to be in his first season. Like Zay said, we don't even know if he's going to be the starter to start the season. But I do know they want to push the ball down the field this season.
Well, we probably won't get to see a real true Chip Lindsey offense in this first year if he's their starting quarterback. He'll probably go with more of a run style offense just until he can get his quarterback up to speed. I don't think they're going to throw enough passes for him to get 2K and to get 15 touchdowns passing. I just can't see that happening. This whole Michigan quarterback situation scenario it really puts Michigan in a bad spot. I know you wanted this kid. He's the best. He was the number one quarterback in the country. You paid him a nice little grip. They can't even afford to even let the guy learn. He's going to have to play because what are their fans going to do? You roll somebody else out there and they do nothing. They're going to automatically be saying, go with the young guy for the future. And then they're going to have to put this guy out there, man. And I don't think if it was my team, I would not want the young guy playing right away. But when you give a guy that kind of money, you almost have to. You know what I'm saying? You almost have to and not let him learn and develop. I hope that the young man plays really well and has some success. I just don't see it in the Big Ten, especially when you got all of these good defensive coordinators, man, who know how to scheme up stuff, man, who can probably take away your wide receivers in this instance, talking about Michigan, and then stopping the run, or at least putting a lot more bodies committed to stop the run. I think they might have a long season, man. If they don't get this thing going, they might have a really, really long season. Really, really long season.
Hey, and one more thing. I could see them doing more of a 2-quarterback setup this year than anything. Like where they just shuffle in Underwood and all shortest downs and do RPOs with him. And I don't know, put pressure on with that QB run. But as far as him throwing the ball, I don't see a lot from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his accuracy, look, we know a spring game is just a spring game, but he was very inaccurate. No touch.
Yeah.
A lot nice, strong arm, but he was not very accurate.
I mean, I definitely will split the reps in the first game. Would they play Oklahoma the second game?
I want to say it's the third game. It's the second game?
Second.
Yeah, second, because remember they suspended the coach for the third and fourth game, not the first and second game.
Yeah, so I would definitely split the reps with him the first game, give him a little bit of reps in the Oklahoma game just so we can get a feel for playing against a really, really good defense, and then give him some more reps when they have another non-conference game and sort of working that way. Because if you put that guy out there as your starter against Oklahoma, you might shake his confidence for the rest of the season, in my opinion.
And no, I'm kind of opposite. I won't give him no reps the very first game. I'll give him 0 reps. And I'll give him 0 reps in the OU game unless it calls for it. And then the next 2 cupcake games, I'll give him all the reps. Give him all the reps the next 2 games after that.
I like that plan.
They're starting the season against New Mexico. You can put a true freshman on the field for the entire game against a New Mexico. He's starting game 1. That's an easy game. That's an easy victory, and it's a great game. Let's see what he can go out here and do. We paid him. He's going out there and starting that first game. They didn't give him that money to sit the bench, and he didn't go there to sit the bench. He went there to start game 1 and be the first true freshman since I don't know when in Michigan history to start game one of a football season.
Well, whoever they roll out game one starting, that's who they think they can beat OU with. So let's be very clear about that.
Yeah. We'll see.
I understand. I'm just saying that game one is going to be Underwood going out there.
Yeah.
4 years, 10 to 12 million and better.
Man.
Who could be this year's Indiana in the Big Ten this season?
Yeah, it's gonna be Illinois. Illinois, man. They got like 3 games on their schedule. I think they play Indiana too. So really, it could be Indiana again, though. For real, honestly, depends on that game, though. Indiana's schedule a little tougher this year, but I'm putting my money on Illinois this year, and with a slight sleeper pick, I would say watch out for Nebraska.
Yeah, I like both of those picks. I'm gonna stick with Illinois. Veteran team, got a few transfers. You talk about trenches, a team that has them in the trenches, both sides of the ball. So I just think that's a team to definitely watch out for, Illinois.
Yeah, I'm going to second that, Moss. I really like Illinois. I like my teams to be older, and Illinois brings back everybody on offense, I believe, except for the wide receiver position. So I like Illinois to be this year's Indiana, although, like what Zay said, Indiana could be this year's Indiana.
Yeah, right.
And y'all know Illinois was my sleeper team. I mean, they have a schedule to where they could possibly win 10 games, and maybe even a strong possibility to win, 9. Like 10 would be great for them, but I definitely wouldn't be going on a limb and saying they would finish 8-4, which is good enough for a pretty nice bowl game. That might get you to that could get you somewhere. You never know. Just depending on how the season ends up, and I think we're gonna have a whole lot of banging and clanging in every conference.
Yeah, just because they have that favorable schedule, I would say it's going to be Illinois, and they got a veteran team. So with those two combinations, I could definitely see them being this year's Indiana in the Big Ten. How confident are you in Penn State this year? Is James Franklin in the same boat as Brian Kelly?
Hey, time out. Can we rewind real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we didn't bring something up, and it kind of throws us off a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe we might get into this. But Michigan could also be a sleeper. Michigan has one of the easiest schedules in all of football. Once again, they have a very easy schedule. They could, just by the schedule, if let's say if they got past Oklahoma, you got Oklahoma and Ohio State. You throw in Nebraska and UCLA and Michigan State, but there's no Penn State, there's no Oregon, So they have a really, really, really good favorable schedule. So it's even going to be interesting to see just what happens with that university. We're doing a whole lot of talking, but a lot of people forget, like, there's something coming. Yeah. They have a judgment day, so they don't even know if they're going to be allowed to play for a playoff. And that's just real talk.
Okay. So how confident are you in Penn State this year? Is James Franklin in the same boat as Brian Kelly?
Franklin safe. Franklin good, just making it as far as he went. Franklin good. And so is Penn State. They're going to compete again. They're going to get 10 wins.
I'm going to still say Franklin got to do something like he did last year to get off of people still talking about him. I like what he did for Penn State. He took them on a heck of a run. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's a lot of questions with the quarterback you've had for a few seasons to where, is that something that teams are going to be able to key in onto? And what are you going to do this year? Is teams keyed in on the run? There's a lot of questions still that have to be answered, just my opinion. And has he won the big game? No. So I'm going to say Franklin, Kelly, y'all still in the same boat. Y'all both got to prove everybody wrong this year. I just
disagree. I disagree because even if I was a Penn State fan, I'm no dummy. I know Ohio State and Oregon spending more money than my school, and Penn State is still getting some great players. And for Penn State's schedule, their schedule is easy. As from what we look at right now, just on paper, just like when we look at Florida's schedule on paper, and right now we say, oh my gosh, how are they going to survive and even keep everybody healthy for the season? A schedule like that. But when I look at a schedule like Penn State and all they have is Ohio State, pretty much Ohio State and Oregon, those are the only ranked teams that they have to play. That's an easy 10-2 record. They're not mad about 10-2 and possibly going to the playoff.
They got Oregon at home.
Say that again.
They got Oregon at home.
Yep, they got Oregon at home.
No, they go. Oh, no, it's a whiteout. Yeah, they do. They got Oregon at home.
And it's at night. Oregon at home at night.
Yeah.
Hey, they might win that game.
So 11-1. You're not on the hot. He's not on the hot seat.
What's their schedule? So that Ohio State and Oregon are only
they have Nevada, then they have Florida International, Villanova, then they play Oregon at home, night game, then UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, then Ohio State at Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers.
Whoa. Hold on. I heard 2 more tricky games.
What, Indiana and Iowa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, stop it. Stop it.
Okay. Hey, y'all heard it from FanDuel first.
Indiana's playing at Penn State. I'm quite sure they don't win there often. And they go to Iowa, which I could see that being tricky. Sometimes it can be hard to play in Iowa, but I don't think Iowa going to have the horses to hang with Penn State. Y'all got to remember, Penn State has been doing a really, really good job of recruiting. Coach Franklin has been doing a great job of recruiting players and getting what they can get.
Sound like a playoff or bust for Penn State.
They're in the playoffs. They don't busting or nothing. They're in the playoffs. I see their worst case scenario 10-2.
Yeah, fellas. I mean, it's tough for me because I feel like if Penn State is able to impose their will and run the ball like they want to run the ball and not have Drew Allard have to play superhero football, then I think Penn State will be in a good spot. But if some of those Big Ten teams are able to stop the run and have them be one-dimensional, that's where I think they can get in a little bit of trouble. I do think they floor is 2 or 3 losses. I do think that. Because again, fellas, I'm gonna say it again, like I said at the start, I got a feeling the Big Ten isn't gonna shake out like we think it's gonna shake out.
We got to think that Iowa team got an offensive line. They got Logan James and Jennings Dunker, and 2 big boys that could put a load on that defensive line for Penn State in the game like that at home too. So I think it's going to, like you said, I like that. This Big Ten is going to be a great season this year.
A 9-3 Big Ten team is making the playoff.
Man, we just talked about 2 of what we consider to be 2 of the best programs in college football with some freaking schedules that are so freaking weak, man. Listen, I don't want to ever hear T.Y. ever say that the SEC ain't guaranteed freaking wins. These cats got 10 fucking guaranteed wins.
No, that's only because y'all sleep.
pitiful,
sleep.
bro. That schedule.
Nah, y'all sleep. Y'all sleep on Indiana. Y'all sleep on Iowa.
No, hold on. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Texas.
Hold on, Rob.
Come on, man. Your schedule just horrible, man.
Right. All right, Rob. Now hold on, because we get it. We understand what you're saying, but now they're gonna have to play the game. So we're Big Ten guys. So guess what? That Nebraska game ain't gonna really be that easy. That ain't gonna just be no little go in there and win and kick their tails. The Michigan State game, it depends on if they're gonna get back or not. I don't see Michigan State coming back anytime soon. The Indiana game, they're gonna have to play, and that's gonna be coming right off of playing Ohio State. So they better hope that they're not licking wounds after that game and then going into going and playing Indiana. They're glad that that's at home. But also an Iowa game. That's in Iowa. Man, they're still games. We're just saying what it looks like on paper. Northwestern.
Man, listen.
They gonna fight. Northwestern gonna fight you. They like Vanderbilt or somebody. They're gonna fight you. Then at UCLA. So as far as the Big Ten schedule, they do have some games. And these are teams that come bowl time will be popping your SEC teams, just like last year.
Hey, let me say something real quick, man. I'm tired of the disrespect on Iowa. Like, they don't got a top 20 defense almost every year. Stop playing with them, bro. Stop playing with them. All they need is a quarterback that can spin it, bro. Stop playing with them, though. We're not going to keep on doing that. We're not, no, hold on. We're not going to keep on treating them like Mississippi State. That's not what we're going to do.
100 offense.
You said what?
They always have pretty good offense and pretty good running back as well.
Okay, what you saying? Bama scored 3 points against somebody at the end of the year last year.
They did. And they were still better than Iowa.
They wasn't better than Michigan, though.
They weren't.
Hey, they was close to the same record. So and how do you know that?
All I'm saying is, man, if you go look at these SEC,
we popped y'all last year, so you're not your conference. Y'all not allowed to talk to us for real. Y'all ain't did nothing, and we won the national championship. We took it away from y'all's conference.
I already said that
we're the captains now.
Big Ten is the best conference because y'all won the last 2 national championships. But when you look at these schedules that y'all have in comparison to the SEC, it's
with your SEC glasses on.
Day.
The SEC glasses on.
It's like night and day.
Hey, Vanderbilt wouldn't have never won 8 games in our conference.
No,
it's a fact.
No, Kentucky ain't going to win it.
Hey, Maryland would have beat Mississippi State.
No, they wouldn't.
That's y'all's worst team versus our worst team.
Yes,
they would have beat Mississippi State.
No, they wouldn't.
Hey, fellas, I gotta agree with FanDuel Zay about Iowa because we know they're gonna run the ball. We know they're gonna play great defense. We know they got a great coach, but their new quarterback, that guy is gonna be a problem if you haven't heard about him yet.
They sleep. Let them sleep.
They got them 2 boys. I'm telling you, they got them 2 boys on the line: Logan Jones and Jennings Duncan. Them some corn fed. They eat soul food. They're gonna be ready for Penn State.
I hope so, man. I hope so. But them schedules.
That Penn State schedule was a little soft.
Hey, no. If y'all don't handle business, man, y'all might play them in a bowl game.
Right.
And smash them. We were running them out the stadium, bro.
Well, I ain't gonna deny that fact. Y'all got more horses than them. I won't deny that fact. I'm just saying, y'all don't handle business. They gonna be in the same record lane as y'all if y'all don't handle business.
Possibly, because our schedule is tougher. What's going to be the biggest storyline in the Big Ten this year?
Oh, this is easy. What happens to Michigan? And we're gonna find out in 30 to 60 days. That's the biggest storyline. What are they going to do? You understand that the Michigan fans have on their blinders, and they said, "Hey, our coach didn't know anything about this. this dude was just doing all of this stuff on his own. But from what I know, this stuff went to court. So that sounds good talking amongst friends and, you know, or rivals or whatever or whatnot. But when we're just putting out what took place for the past 3 years, you know, all the way up, I'm just me personally, I'll give them all the way up to when they found out and they gave Harbaugh, how many games they gave Harbaugh? 4 games. They suspended Harbaugh for 4 games. It go from all the way up to there. That's how far it's going. But we'll see, and I think that's going to be the biggest storyline. And what happens, whether it's a hammer, whether it's a screwdriver or a power drill, something's going to happen.
The biggest storyline is going to be, can the Ohio State Buckeyes repeat? I don't care about what's going to happen in Michigan. I hear you, my brother T1. But, man, everybody want to see it be done. Who's going to be the next dynasty? And we got a prime opportunity right here just waiting in our lap. We're going to have another top 3 most talented rosters again this year. Now we getting credit for having one of the better coaching staffs. We got to get it done, man. No excuses. We're going to come, we're going to put up, or we're going to shut up.
I'm in totally agreement with that. And you know how I am. I think in leading to that, with y'all getting, you know, back and repeating, you know, my question, everybody gonna want to know if it's gonna be a 5th straight loss or win. And I think with that being said, I think if y'all win, I think that propels y'all, you know, to that next step towards that playoff, to the possibility of repeating. You know, I think, you know, if we really look at it, I think that definitely is a question alone to go with that national championship. And I think you got to conquer that in order to make that step towards repeating that championship respectively. You know, they just don't seem like they're the team that they were the last few years, of course, but of course they're going to be up and ready for this game. They've won it for the last 4 years. So just looking on that, of course, along with the allegations along with that as well.
What it do, KT?
Hey, man, KT, man, y'all in the worst conference, man. Stop it.
So when you talk about the biggest storyline in the Big Ten, I think you can go several ways. And I also think, to my Ohio State brothers, man, y'all got to beat Michigan this year, because if y'all don't, that's going to be a huge storyline. Y'all gotta beat Michigan this year, my guys. And I think one quarterback that can pop in the Big Ten, not saying they're going to win the Big Ten, but a quarterback who can be really impressive is the kid Dante Moore from Oregon. That could be a big storyline. So, and I like his receivers he got with Rico Flores, and I can't remember the other kid's name, but I mean,
Vicorian Moore.
There you go, my guy. And when we talk about last year's Indiana, Illinois could be a big storyline. You hear FanDuel Zay talk about Iowa, and I'm agreeing with that. They could be a storyline. So it's a lot of things that could take place and be big storylines in this Big Ten, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't think is Ohio State going to repeat. I don't look at that as a big storyline. That's something that a whole lot of people are expecting, even outside of Columbus. Some people are picking Ohio State to repeat. So I don't look at that as a big storyline, since, you know, we're so used to having so much success here in Columbus, Ohio.
We're gonna get the KT's question a little bit later on in the show. I mean, the biggest storyline is probably.
No, the Big Ten is not overrated. We just showed that in the bowl games last year. So that was an easy answer for that question.
Well,
absolutely.
But we've also said that the bowl games don't mean nothing if it ain't the CFP. So I mean, which one is it? Which one?
They sure enough meant it when the SEC was kicking all the ass.
You know what? If you go
That
look
was
at
just
the history,
the year
SEC is
before
not,
that, when people were sitting out and
the
all this.
SEC
So
has never fared well in bowl games. They have
all
never fared well in bowl games.
both teams
Only the
have players out.
championship games. Only the championship games and playoffs.
Both teams
have
have
they
players.
fared
We
well.
still want. We still want to win. We still want to win the game for the conference. Everybody know that. Whoever out there, play what you got. Your second and third stringers need to be able to go out there and put some work in.
I guess if you say so.
And Texas has good second and third and fourth string.
For sure. I think the biggest storyline is will Purdue win more than one game?
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's just disrespectful.
That's diabolical, WTP Sports, dude.
Well, that one game beat Notre Dame.
Oh,
Ooh. Coming at you straight at
Well,
you.
that one
Close
game
game.
beat a game where they just put it all together. You know, they used to, Notre Dame used to letting somebody slip and slide through the back door.
Are they playing that at Notre Dame or at Purdue?
I don't know yet the ex post game that. He just looking at us talk smack about his squad.
Post, man. Where we playing that game at?
Man, listen. I know my brother is just trolling, man. I know he can't be serious. He can't be serious. Come on, man.
what's going on with Wisconsin, man? Can they get back up towards the top in the next 5 years? Can they get back up there?
Man, a Big Ten is tough. It's a tough recruiting. It's tough recruiting in a Big Ten when you add in that West Coast. And a team like Wisconsin, he said he was a Notre Dame, used to be a Notre Dame fan. A team like Wisconsin is. I'm used to seeing them battle for the conference year in, year out. To see them not battling in the conference last year with the conference realignment with teams coming in, and see Indiana kind of make themselves known, and seeing coming into this season, I don't know. It might take a few more years. I think 3. I give them 3. In the tough Big Ten conference, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna give Wisconsin 3 years to get it right.
I think it's only right before anybody else go that Mr. Claiborne, you have the floor and you are able to address that comment.
No, I'm straight. I'm straight, Buckeye. You know, I don't get down with Notre Dame. But look, there was like probably about 10 years ago or something, or maybe even 12 years ago. Like I tried to do this year. Like I'm like so just Ohio. I just like all Ohio. And one time I said I'm gonna look for a college team to look at and just try to root for them. And it just so happened to be Notre Dame. But I just couldn't. I just can't do it. I can't root for nobody. I tried to root for OKC this year. I just can't. My body won't let me do it. I can't root for anybody. So I actually have never been a fan of anyone outside of Ohio since I've been like 13 years old. Before that, like people who know me knew I was a Raiders fan and a Steelers fan and a Lakers fan. Those were all my people.
Yeah, the problem is 10 to 12 years ago, my guy, Brian Kelly was our coach. Don't try that again with Marcus Freeman now being our head coach, man.
I did. I can't, but I like Marcus Freeman, so I definitely will. I definitely do root for Notre Dame. I can definitely tell you that. Do I like them in any type of way? No. But do I want Marcus Freeman to be very successful? Absolutely. Absolutely. I want. Hey, if he go
He family.
every season, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have nothing against Notre Dame, especially
He
with
family.
him. What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. He family.
Yeah, that's family going on up there. So, yeah.
But I could see Wisconsin getting back towards the top 5. I don't think it's too hard for real. I think they just need to follow a simple blueprint. You gotta lock down them corn-fed trenchmen. You gotta You know what I mean? You got to get running backs back in there because really, Wisconsin is one of the running back U's. They up there. They might be in the top 15. They usually always got a running back. That's what we ain't seen from them is them having a difference maker in that backfield for real.
They running backs this been nice.
Yeah, they usually got nice running backs.
Yeah,
but now
been nice.
They gonna need some help though with this scheduling, man. Because have y'all seen their schedule this year?
Is it bad?
Brutal.
It's brutal. It's probably the hardest schedule in the Big Ten, probably.
So they won't be coming back this year. We know it won't be this year. Huh?
Not at all. Not at all. It's not happening this year.
Not happening this year.
I mean, Wisconsin, in years past was always one of the better teams in the Big Ten, but not so much now. I think Luke Fickell is he was supposed to be great. He was supposed to be a great hire for the Badgers. And then to couple that with the allegations and their schedule, they play Alabama, Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, and Illinois. So if I can't say it'll be this year. Could they bounce back and be up there with the elites in the Big Ten in the years to come? Maybe, but next year it won't be this year, man.
I don't think I'm sorry. In this NIL era, I don't think a team like Wisconsin is going to climb back up in there. I don't think they're going to make it. It's a little too cold, and it just ain't worth it.
Well, they definitely gonna have to take a page out of Indiana's book and then hope that they get a really, really favorable schedule in order to make it look good. Because they're not, like you said, in this NIL era, they can't even get the trenches like they used to. So, if you can't do that, your running game ain't what it used to be. Because you can, with them, with the line they used to have, you can put any running back there and they're gonna do their thing. Even though they have some great running backs, I think the line was the biggest difference for them, and they ain't gonna be able to duplicate that anytime soon because they just can't compete on the NIL level. So they better take a page out of Indiana's book, go to North Dakota State and pluck some of them dudes, man, because they're probably putting more players in the NFL than freaking Wisconsin right now.
Yeah. Well, no, Wisconsin always got some linemen going to the league. You better believe that. Wisconsin's offensive linemen getting drafted every single year. That ain't gonna stop.
Yeah, in a minute they're gonna be hurting though.
Yeah, true. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they ain't gonna be able to bid with nobody. Would y'all rather the Big Ten had Oklahoma and Texas or the Pac-12 teams?
Man, I like the Pac-12 teams. I ain't gonna lie. We just gotta get USC back on regular footing, and I think it's gonna be smooth.
I kind of like the setup how it is. Oklahoma and Texas over in the SEC with Oregon, USC, UCLA over here in the Big Ten. I think you're seeing a lot of that USC, Michigan, that Ohio State, USC matchups, those type of matchups that's going to be happening. I like that, and you can still see, some of the Oklahoma against some of the Big Ten and Texas against some of these Big Ten schools and matchups as well. So I kind of like it how it is. Nothing against either of the schools. I definitely like how they got these conferences aligned right now.
Look, man,
Texas doesn't want that smoke.
You can call me old school, you can call me a traditionalist, whatever you want to call. And I understand the finances of the moves to different conferences, but man, I just like it when Texas, Oklahoma was in the Big 12, USC was in the Pac-10. I like that regional football, man. It hurt my eyes to see USC in the Big 10. It don't feel right. And I understand the business side to it, but if I'm the Big 10, I would rather have Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah, I definitely would have I would have rather have I would have wanted Oklahoma, I would have wanted Texas, Notre Dame, and Kansas. Those were the four that I would have took opposed from those West Coast teams. And if you give us those four teams right there, I just see a much beautiful, even richer, conference. But post game, all you're getting right now is you're just seeing how in just a hot little second, it's only going to be the two conferences, which is going to be the SEC and the Big Ten. And, Oklahoma and the Oregons and UCLA and all of them, everything that just happened is just a part of the movement and the process of what's about to take place here coming soon when they kick the NCAA up out of here and get a bigger bag for everyone.
Yeah, I when I first looked at it, I was like, I think that Texas and Oklahoma would have been the better schools for them to take. But I like the old back in the days Rose Bowl matchups with Ohio State and USC, the Big Ten champ against the Pac-12 champ. So I kind of like that they got those Pac-12 teams in there simply because it reminds me of those days when they used to play that matchup in the Rose Bowl. So I'll go with that, even though I believe Oklahoma and Texas would have been a better fit for them in terms of you don't have to travel as far. But, it is what it is at this point. But I think that would have been cool if Texas and Oklahoma would have been able to join the Big Ten.
Texas, they ain't never want that smoke, bro. They ain't never wanted that smoke. We give it out for free over here, bro.
Yeah, okay, man. If you say so. You say
Like,
well, one time there was talking about Texas going to the Pac-12 and the Big Ten at one time. But like most people, they don't want to have to share what they're gonna have to share with Texas because 9 times out of 10, Texas is gonna take the whole thing over, bro. That's what they do.
Yeah, because y'all greedy, bro.
That's what they do.
Greedy dudes, man. They ain't let everybody can eat, man.
Yeah, they just like Notre Dame, greedy. They greedy.
When your
They
brand
greedy.
is
Greedy. Y'all greedy. Y'all them rich Texas oil men.
listen.
Uncle Sam ass motherfucker.
We wasn't even winning the Big 12, and we carried the league for decades.
Greedy had y'all on TV. Y'all been out here killing with the TV network. How long Texas had the TV network, bro?
Okay.
They had TV, their own network before the Big 12 network?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, y'all some Uncle Sam's, man. I swear, man.
They about that money, bro. They about all that money.
ESPN bought them out, though.
Hey, just a little bit.
When these conferences go together, because I'm gonna tell y'all a big power move that's gonna come when the SEC and the Big Ten take over, like from a basketball era, like when Syracuse and Kansas, both of them joining the Big Ten. That's gonna be dope. We might mess around and get North Carolina too. But I can see North Carolina joining the SEC.
What's going to be dope is when them teams go independent and they get the
right. That's going to be a big thing too.
TV contract.
Yeah.
With the networks.
That's a good question too. Is it more for? I don't know if that's a whole nother show, but moving forward, does it look like it may be more beneficial for teams to take the Notre Dame route and get independent? Do you have Penn State thinking now, like, do we go back independent?
Mr. Claiborne,
more money now, but go ahead.
You would love it here.
Oh yeah, for sure. We
love it here.
That. But you got to have the brand to be able to do that. Anybody, any program, any university can't just say, "Hey, I'm going independent. I'm gonna get my own TV network." Don't nobody want to see you.
Ohio State, Texas, Michigan, Penn State. Y'all would love it here.
Yeah.
Hey, why would we love it there? We would downgrade if we did that.
No,
Go
y'all
ahead.
wouldn't. No, y'all wouldn't.
This is
How?
Ohio State, man. Listen, Ohio State is the greatest football program ever.
True.
It's not. It's
Second
not up for
that.
debate.
I second that.
What? Stop,
It's not up for debate, bro.
I don't know about that,
stop it.
but
But y'all
Man,
gotta look at the numbers, bro.
Trophies, our players we send to the NFL. You know, we have legendary coaches. Just think, our last 3 coaches have won national championships. What university, what program can say
You
that?
would.
Wait, and I listen.
You would wait till Nick Saban
So wait
retires.
and listen, our last 3 coaches, which
Yeah,
has lasted 25 years, have all won national championships. Let me know of a program or a university. I'm just going off of what Zay just said. He just said Ohio State is the best program in all of college football. And I'm just saying, tell me another program whose last 3 coaches, not last 2, last 3 coaches have all came in and won national championships. Once again, I'll wait.
being independent would take y'all to another stratosphere. Listen,
Financially, yes, it would. Yes, it would. Ohio State will make so much money, it'd be stupid. And we have alumni all across the United States, which also makes us the greatest football program in all of the history of college football.
Hey, all I know is there's never been a decade where we've lost more than once, more than 4 games. Every other team in the country has a decade where they done lost at least more than 3 or 4 games, at least 3 times in a decade of their history. We have never seen that.
But you know why?
Nah, I don't want to hear the reason why. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Look at the sorry ass Big Ten.
Yeah, see there.
I face one team.
There we
Michigan,
go.
the only team every year.
There we go.
Y'all in Michigan, the only the team in that conference has been consistent over the years.
Okay, so talk about the Nebraska powerhouse that came in the Big Ten and ain't been relevant since because they running into the Buckeyes. Talk about Penn State. You can talk about these teams, but you fail to mention the other side of the argument.
They was getting dog walked in the Big 12, bro. Texas only lost like once or twice to them the whole time they was there.
Who, Nebraska? Nebraska got national championships. What are you talking about?
They do way back in the time Osborne.
They
got titles back in Tommy Frazier era. That was the Tommy Frazier era. They ain't got no title.
In that era, they were playing football, whether they won the national championship or not.
Nebraska is not irrelevant when it comes to Texas.
Yeah.
Respectfully, like Ohio State has been a dominant team. When you talking about all of college football, I mean that's a whole different discussion. Who you
gonna say?
I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm not gonna put the Buckeyes right at the top right away.
They are one of those teams, but they're not
the greatest.
I'm still waiting to hear y'all tell me a program that has 3 national championship coaches back to back to back. I'm waiting.
So if a program get 3 national championships with 1 coach in 5 years, how good is that?
See,
I don't care about that. You are moving the goalposts once again.
CKT, let me tap into KT. CKT, this is what y'all's problem is. Y'all don't know how to take an argument in totality. Y'all go with one statistical stat and y'all run with it. Just like No with LeBron and 50K. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You got to take the whole picture of the puzzle. You can't take one corner of the puzzle and not put the rest of the pieces together with it.
Man, listen, you made the statement that Ohio State is the best football program in history.
It is.
In the history of football at this moment, yes.
Hey, the consistency.
Listen, Nick Saban just won 7 national titles and what?
Okay. Now take out that one coach's era, and what do you have from that program? Nothing but Bear Bryant, and that's it. And they gave him everything that he got.
So why you
can't take out the Nick Saban era? There's nothing.
You got 3 in 25 years, and he got 7 in what? 12?
And that does not make that program better than us in totality.
That makes him the best. That makes him the best recruiter
That make
in the history of the game because he got all the best players year in and year out, and you better win.
And he ain't playing no cupcake schedule every year like y'all was playing. Only team y'all
Oh,
faced
yes,
was
he did. He had a whole lot of cupcake schedule.
but you switching the argument. You switching the argument. Now, if you want to say,
I don't agree. I don't agree that they're the best football
Move the
program.
goalposts.
and that's your right. That's your right. But if you want to argue the greatest dynastic stretch, then you can argue Alabama. But we talking about the whole totality of the whole thing since NCAA football became a thing. And don't go talking to me about no Yale and all that. They don't even exist no more.
Nick Saban has the best college football dynasty. I will give that to him. He has the best college football dynasty with his tenure at the University of Alabama. And not to mention, didn't he win one at LSU too?
Yeah,
Or
he won one at LSU.
Yeah.
So during Nick Saban's era, Nick Saban was the GOAT. That's hands down. That one man, not his program, it was him.
So let me
Ohio State is a
go
program.
ahead, Paul.
It's not one coach. It's not a player. It's not a quarterback. It's a program. And it's a brotherhood like no other. And that's why they go there, and they say that all the time.
So this is a serious question, and this is to the Ohio State brothers.
Yes, sir.
Let's just say, because we all know y'all got a mega talented team. If y'all have 2 losses and then y'all go in a Michigan game and lose, how do y'all feel about Ryan Day as y'all coach? I'm just a hypothetical.
Hypothetically speaking,
How do you feel about Ryan Day after that?
first of all, I have to ask you to go and open up the history book and see how far you would have to go back to see Ohio State with 2 losses going into the Michigan game. You would have to look very, 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 very far. So this is one of those great hypothetical questions that you actually can use an example of what a hypothetical question is. It's something that we're just saying. We know that there's not one chance in hell for this to happen. But if that were to happen,
the reason but if rock with me for a second. The reason
I want to answer your question, Paul.
Hold on,
just let him get on.
Hold on. I'm not saying y'all gonna lose that many games. I'm just saying last year I heard a lot of stuff about Ryan Day from the Ohio State fan base. And if y'all for some reason struggle this season and lose to Michigan, is Day still y'all guy? That's all I want to know.
Hey, I want y'all. And listen, rewind the tape on me. I've already said what I said. If he lose again, we need to push him out of the fucking door because I don't give a fuck about a national championship. I want to beat Michigan every goddamn year. You can rewind the tape on me. I said that 6 months ago.
Who was that? Hit the next question post game because my question is, do y'all?
I can care less if it equaled a national championship. I don't care if we never beat them again, but every year was the national championship. We can go 0-57 against them. But if it equals 57 natties, I could care less if we ever beat them again. And I don't care if they beat us by 57 points.
See, in post game, this is where me and T1 is different. Let me explain something real so I can be very clear about this. If we lose to Michigan, 9 times out of 10, this was a different year. That means we're not really capable of winning the national championship. So really, it's one and the same for me. Usually when we beat Michigan, we got a top tier team and they should win the national They should be in the conversation to win the national championship. So go ahead and beat them. Forget we talking about losing to them. Let's get that out of our minds, T1. We got to drink off of that, bro. We got to drink that out of your mind or something. I don't know. We're going to have to do something about that. we cannot keep on losing to these guys because they are the worst type of guys that you can let get wins. They are the worst type of guys. Poe won't shut up. He threw a card in the dude's window driving down the E-way, and the dude been talking crazy on the podcast. What are we talking about?
Man, you know T.Y. don't believe that either, man. T.Y., Michigan has been living rent-free in his head ever since they lost. He's always mentioning Michigan in the chat almost every other day.
Hey,
And nobody is talking about
Michigan, your second team is just hot and in the news. When I'm strolling on social media, just like we're on social media right now, when I'm on my stuff and I'm strolling through social media, it comes up. They know I'm interested in this rivalry. They know I'm invested in all things college football, Ohio State, Michigan that pop up. So it comes through my thread. So I'm seeing all of this stuff that's going on with Michigan and this case that they got going on with them. So I share it with my sports guys that I thought we talked about sports, but now they so sensitive and I'm not allowed to talk about Michigan and they're living rent-free up in my head. How about I'm just numb now to the rivalry because since 2001, I get it. We've lost 4 straight. I get it. And then after watching last year's game, I'm like, and you already know how I feel about sports and how they're all made up and rigged and stuff. After watching that game, I really could care less about the outcome of that game because I know it is what it is. But I got so numb. Y'all talking about first y'all was at 3, you know what I mean? That last year. Now y'all at 4. Like, dude, we went 5, 6, 7, 8, and then did it again and went all the way up to 5 and 6 and 7. Dog, that's what messed the rivalry up. You know, that's what messed it up. That's why now Ohio State fans can be like, okay, we got so numb to like kicking y'all's ass since 2001. And y'all are just now getting something and you still have this cloud over your head. So what's going to happen when they say, oh, was Connor on the schedule then? Yep. All right. Was he then? Yep. And guess what Michigan going to be saying? Well, we beat y'all. Do y'all hear Ohio State talking about what we did with all of them victories that they stole from us just for sharing our tattoos and personal football equipment? I mean, of course, we was looking like, hey, hold up, time out. That ain't got nothing to do with football. Why are you taking these wins away? And now we're talking about something that actually has to do with football. And you're talking about a coach that said, hey, I'm going to beat Ohio State or I'm going to die trying. You see what happened. His college career died trying to beat Ohio State. He beat Ohio State, won the national championship, and left because he know he did wrong. And now y'all mad at Ohio State fans because we're numb to we just took 4 L's. I compare it to the kids in the hood. They're numb to death. They see so much of it. There ain't nothing to get your homie's shirt or their face on the T-shirt. They're numb to it. That's where that's where I am, and y'all mad at me. Y'all mad at me because the Ohio State-Michigan game, actually, I'm numb to it now because we just kicked their ass year after year after year after year after year. No. And the only time that they did get some type of win streak, they like, hey, they cheated. Or did they cheat? You know? So, come on, man. Don't be mad at me because I'm numb to it. Ain't no rent-free nothing. We are the most successful program out of every program with all of these hosts on this show. We are the most successful program. With the most rings, with the most trophies, with the most everything.
And the only
so
team
why should we be living rent-free? Why should anybody be in our heads rent-free? I'm done. Y'all know I could do this all day long.
Because the storyline's still going to exist this season. Mr. T1, Mr. Claiborne, City League.
I'm still going to get my T-shirt with the face on.
Will y'all get the gold pants back? That's going to be the question.
And this is why we hot. Hey, y'all remember that song Mims back in the day? This is why we hot. Because ain't your team 500 in the last 10 years in your rivalry matchup? Exactly. We ain't talking about y'all. We ain't talking about y'all at all.
Y'all won 4 straight.
Bums?
Just by what y'all doing, that lets me know what the rivalry in this fourth straight has done to you guys. Respectively, y'all done got y'all national championship. So it's
Man,
just
you
gonna be a
sound crazy.
Hey,
It's gonna
post
be a
game says
storyline.
Mr. 1-11. Listen,
Hey.
can you believe this kid?
I'm gonna take it on all day long.
Get my jack, man.
Hey, y'all crazy,
My
man.
Seminoles.
Man, I
Mr.
can't wait till this
I-
season start, man. We got any more questions, man?
I'm gonna
August
say real
30th.
quick though, y'all, because I know we've been on for over an hour. Mr. Claiborne, you cannot tell me that you wouldn't be elated with a victory over Michigan this year, though.
Absolutely would have been elated if we could have popped them last year. Yes, I would. I'll be happy. I will be extremely happy. But guess what? I will be like, all right, come on with this Big Ten championship game. Come on with these playoffs. I'm with Michigan is win, lose, draw, whatever, whatnot. Now with this 12-team playoff, yes, I want to beat Michigan every single game. Like y'all ain't never heard me say that I don't. I want us to win every single game. But me with sports now and knowing how this stuff get down, I don't know if y'all looked at the thing that I put in the chat with Mike Bibby talking about the NBA and how they'll put certain referees on the court so that they can make sure that they get the outcome that they want. It's all in sports. It's ruled by Vegas. So I really trust none of it. You just have to put the BTA like Ohio State did in the playoffs to take it out of their hands. Other than that, they can control it. And I don't even know if they had something to do with that. I'm not putting my money against it. That they didn't already have planned Ohio State was going to lose to Michigan, and then we're going to let them run the table and go win the Natty.
Man, I watched that game 3 times. It's no way. I still don't understand how we lost that game. It ain't got nothing to do with the refs.
I watch
It
it,
ain't
and hey, y'all, look, no lie. I watch it, and I think the results are going to be different. I promise you, I still be thinking we gonna win. I ain't even lying to you. I go watch it right now, and I promise you, come the fourth quarter, I'm like, shit, it ain't gonna be no fourth straight this year. And then I wake up, man. Crazy, man. I promise you. They don't understand, dog, that game. After watching that game, everybody in America said what all at the same time. What the fuck did I just watch? Excuse my language. We can bleep that out.
Yeah, I broke my Xbox controller.
You was one of them dudes on them commercials. You ain't break so you wasn't that crazy.
Yeah, I threw it at the wall, and I ain't talked to nobody for the rest of the day, for real.
RB was not in the chat.
Well, let's hit these 3 questions real quick, and so we can get up out of here. Who's your favorite to win the Big Ten Player of the Year?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice. That's nice. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Sane. I'm gonna go for him to light it up and be that player that Nick Saban said that he was bringing into Alabama to get them back to the promised land. So I believe he's gonna put the numbers up. All that line got to do is stand tall for him, and I believe his numbers may eclipse what Howard did last year, yardage wise.
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody go ahead.
With the Buckeyes, for me, it's Smitty from O Block folk. Ain't no other way around it. You talking about a specimen. We know what he bringing to the table, regardless if OSU figure out their quarterback system. When in doubt, put the ball up. You're gonna go get it. That's who I got for Big Ten Player of the Year.
Well, I was going to say him, but since you said him, I'll pivot, and I'm going to say Luke Altmaier.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And who is that for our viewers out here?
Quarterback, Illinois.
I'm gonna go with the running back for Michigan.
Haynes.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So you think they're going 10-2? Okay.
No, I just think he don't rush.
The running back for Michigan actually can have a great season, and they not be looking too good in that win category. They can put up the numbers.
Yeah, they gonna give it to somebody who would at the top of the conference though. So I mean, Moss said Smitty. I'm gonna go Smitty, but just to throw another name out there, I'm gonna say Jordan James, the running back from Oregon.
That's good.
Hey, listen here. Let's not forget. Let's not forget that this is really actually an Ohio State quarterback award. So let's see if that Ohio State quarterback can get back to this offensive player of the year. I mean, y'all can go and open up. Y'all can go open up the books if y'all want to. Y'all can laugh. Kyle McCord messed it up, but before him, everybody got it.
You're proving our point that Ohio State has been in a whack conference.
Nah, we just
head and shoulders. We are just head and shoulders.
Only one other team is good in the conference consistently. Only one other team.
No,
we just beat up on two of your conference teams within a matter of weeks, my brother. So you cannot talk about Ohio State nor our conference for what we did to your conference.
Y'all didn't beat up on us.
We did beat on y'all.
Did you lose?
You need to rewatch that game, bro.
Hey, y'all, they made sure they kept y'all close. They kept y'all close.
Bro, y'all were 2 penalties away from getting blown out.
They kept y'all close.
Yeah, y'all were 2 penalties away from getting blown out.
We were 2 penalties away from getting blown out. But y'all was 2 penalties away from not calling penalties from getting blown out then.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Listen, it sounds good for a deaf man.
Once we settled in, we had y'all, bro. We had y'all.
Y'all didn't have nothing.
Man, listen.
Your right tackle couldn't block nobody. Your quarterback, he always heard the footsteps. Like, what did y'all have? Like, I'm confused. We ran the ball anytime we wanted to run.
And we still had a chance to tie the game up at 21.
And our quarterback didn't even play well.
They try to help y'all. They try to help y'all.
No, your quarterback
they did a great job of keeping y'all in the game. Let's move on. Y'all said we up in a minute. It's probably because I'm on here and I talk too much.
What percentage are you giving Michigan to make it 5 straight wins over Ohio State?
I'll give it 12%.
I'll give it 5.
Oh
50,
man,
50 coming from Mossberg.
50,
it's too much dysfunction.
13 and 12. That's a good point, Zay. That it is a lot of dysfunction and shit. Just because it's the rivalry, I give it 30%.
I really want to go 0 because they may have to open the portal back up, but that's a whole nother story.
I'm not sure it was 0 last year.
Hey, bro, T-Wall, bro. Your brain just worked like so perfect at the perfect moments, bro. He said they gonna have to open the portal. The coach gonna get struck.
I'm just being serious because everybody really being blind to this whole issue. They play it like it's a joke and it's some type of game. But when everybody know, all of us on this stage right here, we all got something that's inside of here that's called a brain. I don't think that there's anybody on here that can honestly say, no, Michigan didn't cheat, did everything by the books the way that they were supposed to do it. I don't think we have anybody on this panel that's going to say that outside of Polar Bear and No and Moss, because they Michigan fans too.
you a Notre Dame fan.
That's half the panel. You can't say nobody on this panel did
Exactly.
Oh man.
Y'all know I'll be having to throw stuff out there. I make people catch. Okay, you gotta catch it, man, or it just fly up over your head, man. It's okay sometimes.
I just say 50-50. I just think they like coming in still, they gonna have, Michigan gonna play with a certain type of energy. It's the rivalry. For Ohio State, they gotta come out and prove it. At the end of the day, it's just gonna coming out, playing a game, getting a win. At the end of the day. And both sides.
I'm only putting that 5% because they're gonna have some breath in them. They're gonna be breathing. And they're gonna be human beings.
5% of
so at least get a chance for getting out there on the field.
I'm gonna give them 33. I'm gonna give them 33% to win.
And it's gonna be. I mean, we know every year is personal, but like I said, with that stuff last year, we don't know what that stuff was, but man, I just can't see us going up in Ann Arbor and not coming up out there with a victory. I can't see it.
Okay. Who will be crowned the Big Ten champs?
Man, just on the way those schedules looking, it looked like Oregon or Penn State to me. Because if
Look at this Michigan fan. Don't even want to pick his own team.
Look, Ohio State let me down last year. I picked y'all to win the Big Ten. Y'all let Oregon come in and beat some Ducks.
No, you didn't pick us to win the Big Ten.
Who I picked?
You was against us the whole year.
Did I pick Oregon to win the Big Ten or Ohio State?
You might even have picked Michigan to repeat.
No, I picked Ohio State to win the Big Ten.
You love Michigan.
No, I'm going based
Say
on
it after me. Say it after me. You love Michigan.
I'm Florida State. Nose Nation. Get up out of here, man.
You got too much love for Michigan then to have a favorite team. I think you just like Florida State a little bit. You love.
If I was like a Michigan,
You and Rob, secret lovers of Michigan.
Negative, man. Negative.
No.
Team, it would be LSU,
I don't even have no room for no other love for any other team.
Yeah.
Y'all love Michigan. Y'all hate Ohio State. It's clear in our podcast.
No, we don't hate Ohio State. We don't hate Ohio State.
I just speak as many facts as I can when it comes to certain things, and I leave it at that.
Facts. Now, what did you say Florida State's record was going to be at the beginning of last season?
On this Big Ten schedule,
1-11.
I said we going 9-3 at the lowest.
Oh my God!
Now we're talking overrated.
Let me answer. Hold on. Let me answer, man.
Overrated. The Big Ten is overrated.
Get you, Zay.
I just wanted. I wanted to answer the last question. Cause that's all good though. But I'm just keeping it a band. You feel me? I think Oregon gonna repeat.
Really? Wow.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win the regular season, but I think we're gonna beat them in the Big Ten championship.
Well, they not gonna be Big Ten champions. We don't have a regular season Big Ten champion.
Oh, okay. I thought we were saying regular season. Yeah.
No, this ain't basketball. There's no regular season and then Big Ten. No, everything is just a champion.
I mean, it got to be a 1 seed. Same way it works in basketball. But go ahead. Y'all can answer the overrated question. I'm getting off of here. My phone on 3%.
I gotta pick a Big Ten champion. Man, like I said earlier, Ohio State is loaded like a burrito in Las Vegas. I ain't no hater. I give it to Ohio State.
Yeah, we don't even play Oregon. Why would you put them ahead of us as the Big Ten champion? They're not even on our schedule. All we got is Penn State and Michigan.
That's exactly why they don't play us.
Texas, Penn State and Michigan.
They wouldn't play us until I said they're gonna win the regular season in the Big Ten, and I said we're gonna beat them in the Big Ten championship just because they don't play us.
So you feel like y'all have the possibility?
We're gonna be regular season champions. We're gonna be regular season champions too. Like I said, we're gonna have tougher games against Penn State and Michigan. That Texas game, and we're gonna see when the season starts. Penn State and Michigan will be almost 2 times as hard of a game than that Texas game 1.
Yeah, but I think. Listen, I think it's going to be a 2-way tie in the Big Ten, though. I don't think it's going to be an out. And they're going to have to break it down to points.
That's a good point.
Well, no, it'll possibly still just be, like us in Oregon undefeated. I don't see 3 undefeated teams in the Big Ten. Who
got a tougher schedule, us or Oregon?
Oregon.
So they're going to win the tie. No, we got a way harder schedule than them.
Thank you. I got the tougher schedule.
We got a way harder schedule than them, bro.
I see what you mean too.
And they gonna win the tie based off a point.
Oregon just got Penn State.
So
that's exactly why they're gonna win a tie in points.
So
Oregon 12-0.
FanDuel, when you mentioned Oregon being the winner of the Big Ten Conference.
Oh, I forgot. No, they losing to Penn State at Penn State. They're going to win there.
Is there a possibility that you saying your Buckeyes, with you mentioning the repeat, them possibly going through that same type of route going through that they did last year if they don't win the Big Ten?
I think both of them teams is going to be undefeated in the Big Ten by the end of the year, and they're going to win the regular season by a point system. Just like at the end of the year when the year is over and you look up who won the Big Ten, the regular they're going to always list it at the end of the season when it's all in the books. They're going to list Oregon number 1 because of a point system.
Do you hear what you're saying?
You can look up the standings right now.
No, I agree with you on what you're saying about that. But 2 teams undefeated in the Big Ten.
Yeah, in the Big Ten.
Ass
play each other. That's very possible.
Bomb ass schedule.
Top heavy, man.
Y'all got Michigan.
Top heavy, bro.
No, bum schedule.
No. But listen. They have Oregon has Penn State, Indiana, Wisconsin, at Iowa, USC, at Washington. They're not easy. It's not like just going walk in. And like post game said, keep on playing around talking about this easy schedule, this and easy schedule that. And I'm with post game with this. Some people gonna get popped. Some people gonna get popped, and it's gonna be a team or two that we're not talking about. Or maybe that sleeper like Indiana or Illinois or Iowa that is gonna sneak up into the picture like Indiana did and be talking about that playoff. It's not going to be the way that you think, and the Big Ten ain't what you think it is. Let one of your SEC teams try to join in this conference and see what happens to them. They come to the Big Ten and die. Now Oregon did good right now. But just watch. Penn State came in. When Penn State came in, they had a little bit of success. It died off. And, now they back to where they they at least competing and all of this and all of that, but they're not making no noise because you'll never get past Ohio State.
Man, you go look at them SEC schedules
and laugh.
Yeah, you probably will laugh because that's how you are, but still, you go look at Florida schedule, Oklahoma schedule, South Carolina schedule.
We're going to look back at that and say, we can't believe we thought that was hard.
That's some great schedules, man.
Y'all have names that have been implanted through the ESPN brainwashing of the SEC. Y'all have names like Ole Miss and Mississippi State and Texas A&M that you want to put up there and act like they're somebody. Even your Florida fell so far off the map. This is a team that was winning national championships. Fell off the map. Auburn, one of that, fell off the map. Like all y'all teams winning natties and all of this, LSU winning natty fell off the map. Like y'all just y'all were like one hitter quitters. Like y'all's lead, not that, bro. Ain't nobody do nothing but Alabama and Georgia, and that's because they were getting all the top players throughout the country. Both of them 2 universities.
You named several teams that fell off the map. You can't name no Big Ten team that fell off the map because they never even got on the map. You only got 2 teams, Michigan and Ohio State.
Michigan just got on the map. Now you're talking about them as if they've been on the map. They haven't been on the map, sir. You just like the team and you think they've been winning. They haven't been winning, buddy.
They've been winning since Harbaugh been there. They've been winning.
No, they were horrible. You need to look at his record, bro. They were horrible.
How long was he there? How long
he did like 7 or 8 years.
Exactly. And how many years were they good?
So he was 3 and 5. Ohio State. He has multiple years where he lost 4 games, or 5 games, or 6 games, or 3 games.
But see, this the thing. This is what get tricky though. We have to understand that we went through a era where we had a dynasty going. We cannot underestimate what a dynasty does for a conference, because once a team has a good team, just randomly out of the blue, that can be their year. And once you beat that team in that dynasty, it's just like how the Lakers and the Spurs was battling back in the day, except for if you just took one of them teams and you just threw a ping pong ball out to any other organization or in the conference and said, okay, we're gonna pick that team to be good this year. It's the same thing, bro. You got the dynasty, and then like you had the LSU team this year, and then you had the Auburn team, like T1 was saying, and then Georgia start coming. So like, it wasn't like it was all these different programs in that conference that was being good. No, teams just had good teams every once in a while. And the difference from the SEC and the Big Ten is we had teams making it. We just didn't have teams winning it. Wisconsin made it to the playoffs. Michigan State made it to the playoffs. Come on now, what we talking about? Michigan made it to the playoffs. We had teams that was making it to the playoffs. They just wasn't finishing it because they was running up into the goddamn dynasty. What are we talking about?
Wisconsin made it to the playoffs?
Yes, Wisconsin made like the second or third 14 playoff. You better go do your research, buddy. All right, I gotta go, man. My phone on 2%.
Okay, love you, bro.
Be good, bro.
Love y'all.
12 team playoff?
Hey, the 12-team playoff.
2002,
You talking about the 4 team.
2002, 2014, and the one they just won, I was at. Those are 3 national championships since 2000. So all this almighty Ohio State win national championships and whatnot, I'm just sick of hearing it from the fans. I respect them, and I respect what they do as a university. Consistency, having a legitimate overall like dynasty and what they do, we get it. But 2002, 2014, and just the one they just recently won, that's national championships. So it's not a lot to really sit here and go crazy over. That's 3, yeah.
Really? Is there anybody on this podcast right now with 3 national championships?
Was a Seminole.
Past 21 years?
How many my Seminoles got?
I'm confused about what you're talking about right now, brother. It sounds like you said it's a bad thing that we only have 3 natties.
I'm not
20,
negating. I'm not negating it. It's just that
so
people don't understand when you look at the years, 2002, 2014, and y'all just got one. That was 10 years ago that y'all. I don't got to go into it. That's a whole nother level of
right. So what you got since then?
You said what? Me? Just a team that's won 33 straight. That's still in the record books, and I'm waiting for a team to step up and bat and get that record. But that's for a whole nother discussion when we get to talking records and all that different stuff.
You y'all only got 1 since then,
and we started the BCS in that.
But we got 3. Y'all only have 1. You saying it like
I get what y'all saying.
Y'all only won it in 2002 and 2014 and now.
And for me, this is another thing. When you Buckeye fans see Buckeyes, you don't even know Buckeyes. So that's a whole nother level of why I be a certain way when it comes to Buckeyes.
Yeah, but worldwide fan. I've been out the country.
Fans don't even know who Buckeyes are.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying these Buckeyes in this world. So that's another reason why I'm just a Seminole fan, and I stay on my side. I have my talk and my ways because every Buckeye fan don't even know when Buckeyes are sitting in the building having great eats amongst people that they say are Buckeye fans, but just don't know. So until that Buckeye faithful together figure out who's who, and know who they talking about when they talk, and know all their players respectively. Not all, but some.
We have the easiest hootie hoo call, and you gonna act like you don't know it.
I don't know it because I don't listen to it.
Oh, I don't care where I go, I can get that. And guess who's gonna show up? Buckeye fans. We do know who each other is.
Y'all don't be loud all the time. It take y'all a couple OHs to get loud. Y'all supposed to be loud right off the bat. I'ma just say. But I respect your Buckeyes, man. You know it.
You don't. And we don't want to respect. Your respect ain't no good.
Y'all got to double back this national. That's what I feel like. Y'all got the team.
Here in the post game. His respect ain't even no good here post game. We don't want it. Take it and shove it.
I need somebody to put in our chat.
My goodness.
Show me where Wisconsin made it to the 14 playoff, because I can't find it. I can't find it.
Did they make it with Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but maybe they did. I don't know. They didn't win. Did they win the Big Ten?
Yeah, Wisconsin got a Big Ten.
I want to know when they made the 14 playoff, because I don't believe that's the case.
I don't see nothing to say they have.
Yeah, me neither. But I mean, I could be wrong. FanDuel Zay, wherever you at, you put that in the chat. Show us that they made the 14 playoff.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah. The best they got was, a Big Ten championship game.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, man, I'm glad y'all was able to come on. We had too many Big Ten team dudes in here. That's why we went almost 2 hours.
It was thick. It was going.
Well, y'all know when I'm on too, you probably can add on another good 15 minutes or something.
No, 45.
Right. You say we be at an hour. You get on here, we at 151. Talking about 15 minutes. Why you do me like that, Rob?
Because I love you, my brother. Because I love you.
I love you too, man. It's all good. It's all good. It's a lot of knowledge on here. I'm not gonna say I was on a hiatus because I pop in and pop out. But now we bring in a brother like Post Game who was down there in the chat and just spitting so much knowledge. There was no choice or option but to bring him on and share some of that good knowledge that he has. So once we all in here, man, and you gotta understand it's gonna take a little bit more time too, because the stage is full. So it's gonna go a little longer and it's gonna be a little better. Probably a lot of the females out there can relate to that. You gotta love it.
Yeah, for sure. He can talk faster than he can type, and he can talk longer than he can type. So we'd rather see his face than to have him.
I got typing skills. You gotta when you go to school, when you go to college, and back in our days, and you gotta type up them papers and stuff. I had to learn how to type. There wasn't no finger poking. You wasn't gonna get it done. It was too much. So I had to learn how to type. So I can go be a court reporter or somebody's secretary or stuff or something. I can get down on them keys.
Hey, I'm happy for you because somebody was typing my papers, my brother. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I gave them the info, but they did all the typing.
I took a class. You know what I mean? I had to go to Columbus State before when I applied for Ohio State, they denied me. They was like, no, your real name is Ty Hamilton. You graduated from South and you graduated with a 1.8 GPA. So, they ain't let me in, but I went to Columbus State and I just took classes that I knew I could get A's in, but at the same time, I knew it would help me, so I took a keyboard class and I learned how to type. You had to beat them times in order to, pass your exams. And I took that for a year and I learned how to type, and I learned how to type really, really fast. I started applying for jobs that I knew I couldn't get, but it said 200 words a minute or whatnot. I said, hey, I can do that. I didn't get the job, but I applied.
Facts. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all jumping in tonight, man, and we'll see y'all again on Saturday morning. Well, they'll see you on Saturday morning. You ain't gonna see me. You're gonna see me for a whole week, but they're gonna hold it down while I'm out. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man.
No doubt, man.
Yes, sir.
WTP Sports Dudes, we was in the building. Now we out. I love y'all, fellas.
Love you too.
Love.
You know it.
Yes,
sir.
Sir, peace.